So now let's get into the last two uh, Bond films. And the last anniversary one I just want to get out of here is Spectre. I was kind of shocked. I totally forgot that Spectre has its 10th anniversary this year. So I got to do this review and say like, yeah, 10th anniversary review of Spectre. Yeah, so Spectre is a 2015 spy thriller film directed by Sam Mendes, of course, back in after Skyfall, written by John Logan, Neal Purvis and Robert Wade, and Jez Butterworth. From the story convinced by Logan, Harris and Wade. And of course, this is a sequel to Skyfall, the 2012 film. It is the 24th installment in the James Bond film series produced by the Eon Productions, and the fourth to star Daniel Craig as the MI6 agent James Bond. Of course, the cast is starts with Christoph Waltz, Léa Seydoux, Matt Ben Whishaw, Naomie Harris, Dave Bautista, Monica Bellucci, and Ralph Fiennes are among the cast for this latest installment. Now, in the film, a cryptic message from the past leads James Bond to Mexico City and Rome, where he meets the beautiful widow of an infamous criminal. But after infiltrating a secret meeting, 007 uncovers a system of a sinister organization, Spectre. Need the help of a daughter of an old nemesis. He embarks on a mission to find her as Bond adventures towards the heart of Spectre. He discovers a chilling connection between himself and the enemy of Spectre, a international criminal organization linked by Ernst Stavro Blofeld, which is played by Waltz, which was not a big twist or surprise. Look, even a great character actors could not save this movie. I have to say, the real problem lies in the poor scripting and I think producing way. I think first of all, there's nothing in this film that couldn't be guessed within the first 10 minutes. The plot and so-called twists are rather bluntly thrown in your face within minutes, but also the twists were just kind of obvious, especially Blofeld was just not good. Also, maybe not good with such an obvious and typecast villain actors to like if there was supposed to be twists, I mean, it was kind of obvious that Waltz was Blofeld. And despite this, it's honestly difficult to comprehend what the heck is happening within the first hour or so. Bond seemed to randomly go to meet some people, and it took me like a half hour or like half a scene to orient myself why he was doing what he was doing, just to keep waiting for the real plot to begin. The movie just feels like very lazy. There are just good ideas somewhere there, but due to the lack of I say subtlety and interpretation, it just feels flat. It's also obvious that there will be a sequel to the Spectre thing, which it kind of does in No Time to Die, but it's critically like taken out during that film. Honestly, I don't know how they could kick like any ideas around with this film, so they tried their best. It was always going to be difficult for like Sam Mendes, director from the previous movie Skyfall, to how you say supersede the expertise sent from the widely successful Skyfall. The narrative had taken a complicated turn with deceit and bloodshed and intertwined with tragedy and malaise. Mendes has teased us with a captive scene set in a whirly tunnel where is a clock man compared to Bond. Well, I say Mendes had teased us with a captain scene set in a wintry turn where Mr. White comes back and he compared Bond to a kite dancing in a hurricane, which was a dynamic but futilely uh, beguiled. Despite a longing for Spectre to capture this sense for the tally of its narration, it fails to meet expectations. It's pretty weak film, I have to say. There is something, I say, intentional worry about Spectre as a whole. The enormous aura and inherently exhaling from Bond is overdone and forced and inject into a plot that is to a saturated taken assumptions. His unflinching execution of his license to kill has softened, leaving Bond to feel like less like a 007 this time around, more like the impossible Haze, the IMF agent Ethan Hahn, played by Tom Cruise in the Mission Impossible series, who breaches AIDS and similar during this year, aka the Rogue Nation movie from 2015. Very annoyed I couldn't do anything special with that. But do not do not mistake these criticisms of Spectre as a conclusion for this being substandard. The hand-to-hand sequence with Bond and Bautista are marvelous, intense, and brutal. So that's good, especially those against Dave Bautista. Dave Bautista is a great Bond villain here as the henchman, Mr. Flink. I think he does a really good job during this film. Wish he had more to do. The never plots across Mexico, Rome, Austria, and Marco does, without such frame the story too much, it ends up feeling drawn out. But if it's good locations for a Bond film. Daniel Grant has been James Bond for the close 10 years now, and nearly unbelievable fact that until you can go back and realize his film was consumed with L, released in 2016, 2006, the opening with a strong action scene during the Day of Dead festivities in Mexico City is really great. Love it, but a little under the nose in terms of themes. Spectre starts promising intensely set in exotic locations, and I said it having great production values, but Spectre settles in the audience wanderlust and craving. Something happens once, we get the Sam Smith song Rains on the Roll, and it's really obvious they're really hitting it on with the themes and tone. The dark, gritty James Bond we've grown to be enamored with takes several steps back towards the tyrannus of the Brosnan films, 90s films, which is not good. But I gotta say, to include this review of Spectre, Spectre is vastly superior to the Bronson films. Like Die Another Day and Tomorrow Never Dies, but is in comparison to the peers that fails to measure up and more akin to them than the Craig films that we got in like Casino Royale and Skyfall. I like this more than Quantum of Solace. Quantum of Solace is the worst Craig film slash Bond film. I will definitely watch this over that. But it's a really disappointing follow-up to Skyfall, I have to say. And for my rating, this is very low. I'll give this a 4 out of 10. Happy, dishonorable 10th anniversary Spectre, I guess. Um, yeah, that's all I have to say. Spectre 2015 film. Yeah.